Here's my vitex. It is looking really nice. And let's just get a close up of those flowers. They're so beautiful. Yeah, oh, looks so nice. I love it. Yeah, the apples are getting bigger. It's still going to be a few months before they're ready. This is my Fuji apple. Yeah. And right next to it's the French prunes. Loaded. Yeah, and the color's changing a little. Oh, I can't wait. Yum. I got this ceramic cat from one of my clients. They're very wealthy. It was a gift that was given to her by her sister, and they just really didn't care for it, and they wanted to give it to me. Apparently it was very expensive, you know, $700 or $800 or something. So brought it home and I put it over here on my porch, and my cat Lacey, who's right there, she just sat and looked at it. She just sat and looked at it for the longest time. Like she was trying to figure out what. Looks like a cat, but it's a person. So funny. This is really just my favorite time of year in this garden. It is so lush, and it's my haven. It's my food forest haven. All this flagstone on the ground. Here's how I got this. So I saw this listing on Marketplace and it said free flagstone. So I messaged him and he told me the address to go to, and I went, and there was piles and piles of flagstone. So I filled up my truck a couple times, and then the guys came back when I was there and they said, we can bring it straight to your house. We're going to have a couple more truckloads for sure. I was like, okay, that sounds good. So I just, I didn't go to work for a few hours. I waited for them, and it was a great score. So basically, all these paths here, and even over by the garden house there, these stones were put down by my son. Yeah. When he was staying with me for a while, and he said, let's do it, Mom. Let's just make it amazing. So we did. And he's also the one that planted this really large pistachio tree. And at one point I was going to cut it down because I wasn't really sure if I wanted it, and I sure didn't know it was going to get this huge. And but I didn't cut it down because he kept telling me, Mom, you can't cut that down. I planted that tree. And I'm like, right, okay, you're right. I'm not going to cut it down. Yeah, so a little of my garden history. So this is the next big project area. Over there I'm going to put in a couple of raised beds, and then over where that white bucket is by the wheelbarrow, I'm going to, let me zero in on that right there, I'm going to put my princess plant that's going to get 10 feet tall and 10 feet wide. So it's going to definitely end up being the focal point of the garden. Yeah, this is going to take a little time though, because we're moving stuff around that's in this bed and planting some things that are in this bed, and yeah, but it'll be really nice. So I am noticing right now that my apple tree has a little bit of fire blight. So I'm going to need to address that. and I have to prune it out of the tree. Now they say with fire blight you're supposed to go down like 5, 6, or 7 feet. So yeah, I'm not, I might lose this branch right here. That might be coming off. There's no fire blight on the rest of it over there. So with fire blight, what you have to do, it goes to pears, Asian pears, and walnuts, I think. What you have to do is you have to dip your pruners in alcohol between every cut, or your saw, and then at the end, between every cut you do it, you spray it on both sides of the saw, hand saw, and then you also spray your pruners between cuts if it gets on any of the black part of the fire blight, because it's highly contagious. And so what they say is that you really should bag it too, and put it in your yard waste and put a tag around it that says fire blight, just so it doesn't go into the landfill and then get spread around the county. Anyway, so these are just the things that we need to do as gardeners when we see a problem like this, so that it doesn't spread around our neighborhood or anything like that. This will take trees down. Fire blight, if not addressed and handled in the way that I mentioned, with dipping your pruners in the alcohol between cuts and then spraying your pruners every time you go to a new branch and things like that. So just something to know, as we are all budding gardeners and we're just learning from each other. There's my yuccas. I love those yuccas. They're kind of sweet looking. There's another one. It's got, just dispersed all the seeds.